Facebookers and YouTubers and
social media family.
Social media family. My name's DJ Elayne Summit, and this is Sir Lloyd Brown. And this is the epilogue of Brown and Bubblers, the project. Incidentally, I had the album from this morning, and I absolutely love it. And I'm not just saying it just because he's sitting here. The album is absolutely second to none. So the minute it comes out, I urge you to get yourself a copy. And how can they get that copy?
Right, they can get, it's going to be sold exclusively. When I say exclusively, I mean exclusively via Bubblers website, which is newedgemusic.com, which is NUEDGEMUSIC.com. It will be subtitled right there, and it will be in the description box below, so you will basically get the link for that. It won't be sold through iTunes, Amazon Play, it won't even be streamed. So that's going to be the place to get the copy of the album, and it was purposely done for that purpose, simply because I want all the traffic to go to his website, so that
and his, you talk about Bubblers?
Yeah, Bubblers, yeah.
Wow.
So all the traffic will go to his website, so so there's the level of support for the eye, what I mean, can be measured by the amount of people that buys the album directly from him.
No, that's amazing. That's amazing. So tell me, why is Bubblers so special to you and the is it reggae fraternity, or could I say music
fraternity? Well, he's special to me. He's always been a special individual, but he's had that regard. He's had even more of a special regard from me of late, because there's very few people that I can literally pick up the phone and talk to about music. Not just about what's going on and how are you, how's the dog, how's the cat. It's just, we can talk about music and life as well. The last person that I could talk to on that level was Lloyd Campbell, the late Lloyd Campbell, who ran Joe Fraser Records. And with Bubblers, I mean, I don't think he will mind me telling you, but he is on dialysis. He's on dialysis machine at least, I think it's 4 times a week. It might be 3 times a week. So he's not a well individual, but his outlook to life and the humor that he brings in our conversations whenever we're on the phone really puts things into perspective, for me at the end of the day. It's like, here's me knocking out albums on top of albums on top of albums, and I have my views on this and that and what have you, and Bubblers is where he is doing what he's basically doing. And he's not the only person, there's other people that you kind of take for granted is doing their thing, but it's when they open themselves up to you and let you know exactly what is going on in their lives. It's like, oh, I didn't know, so I did not know, and it's, and there's many other people like Bubblers, but because I'm always in musically close proximity to him by the phone and by email and what have you, it's just so easy to have a relationship with him where we're on a level, and there's not a lot of people that I'm on that level with. Not because I don't want to be on that level with, but it's just, it's just a connection that we have, more than the connection that I have with other people in the fraternity as well. So, but yeah, he's
so it's beautiful, and I think that's really generous of you. So you're saying that this album has been bottlenecked directly to his website? Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with me per se, by way of me releasing it through my label or what have you. It goes to him. We shared the cost in the packaging of the album and what have you. It's split 50-50. In terms of the digital rights, he has the digital rights and what have you, and in terms of the physical rights, it's split between me and him. So out of 100% of the total rights, he has 60%, he has 70%, 66%, and I have 33%. But and
whose idea was to do this? To do the album and to market it in this way?
Well, it was both of our ideas. He wanted me to basically record music with him, But in terms of like the overall album, it was just a case. Look, let's just do an album, Bubblers, man. You know, that's how it just came about, and you know, it's just, you know, it was just so as a matter of fact that the whole thing came about. It wasn't a thing where we actually had a contingency plan to say let's do this. You know, it just came about, you know.
But you know, for me, if I might say so, Lloyd, this is the epitome of a demonstration, if that is a well-constructed sentence, you can use it in that way, of expressing love and admiration for somebody who is still alive. Do you know what I mean? Because I went to two funerals in 1 week last week, you know, and I've got a couple more to go to, and both of them from people who you didn't expect. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So, you know, touch wood and not bringing it on, but to hear that he's not well, it is so nice that in his lifetime you are showing him what you think about him, how you feel about him, and not leaving him, I guess, as an unsung hero. So here he is, still here, you know, albeit not, you know, 100% well, but he's alive to enjoy the admiration that we have for him. Because even if we don't know him personally, I ain't gonna lie, I may have met him, but from you speaking to me about him today, I still can't place his face.
Well, I mean,
you know what I mean?
yeah, I mean,
but I would have come encounter a lot of these work.
Absolutely. It's like people who I know that haven't seen me in ages, but they hear the work, so they feel a presence that's there with them through the works. You know what I'm saying? And that's the power and the beauty of music, you know. And it's not just, you know, it's not just me that has this high regard for him. It's like you know, so many people in our reggae fraternity have the same regard, you know, for him as well. Do you know what I mean? Because he's such an integral figure, you know, in this thing, you know. And it's for people like me who does have a discerning ear, I recognize Bubbler's sound as soon as I hear it. Do you know what I mean? So it doesn't matter if it's coming through such and such a label or such and such a label. You know, the debate in relation to producing and who produces and what have you is irrelevant at this point. But what I'm saying is that his sound that he has carved for himself is so recognizable and an inspiration to other producers in doing their own thing, in creating their own sound as well. It's not exclusive to Bubblers, and that's the power of what he does and what other producers do. But I just think with where Bubblers is concerned, he is one of our unsung heroes, and you know, he has spent a lifetime, you know, doing what he enjoys and what we benefit from that, you know, in his enjoyment of the music.
That's beautiful. So, if I were to ask you, where would you like to see reggae music in, say, 5 years' time? And do you have an idea as to how we can get it there? Because reggae music is loved worldwide.
Right.
Loved worldwide. In fact, I would say that reggae music is being played in places where we as a people are not even allowed to be. You know? So with that said, what comes to your mind? Where would you like to see reggae music in, say, 5 years' time, and how do you propose as an idea of us getting it there?
Well, I mean, that's a very big question. It's an open question. You know, it's not just about the genre of music. You know, it's about everything that surrounds it. You know, primarily the business aspect of it, because you know, we have a generation of artists and musicians who love the music. There's no doubt about it, and I'm not taking away their love for the music in what they're doing, but in terms of the business, in terms of publishing, in terms of marketing, in terms of, you know, social media, and it's fair to say that the younger generation knows how to work that angle, and that's all well and good, but it's all about the business, you know, where your writing, the writing of the music, the writing of the songs, you know, the registration of the songs and things like that is important. It's more important than the actual marketing, because people can stumble across it and basically and play the music, and it'd be a word of mouth thing, and the whole marketing can be done without you even having to do anything about it. But then if it becomes a hit and you don't have the registration or the business put in place, you can lose out, you know, because the money is in the publishing, you know, because there are people that are living off one tune, one hit tune, and that's all it takes, one hit tune. But if you don't have the business in place, you know, so where I would like to see elements of the music business, I like to see the business level. I like to see the business be up there with the music, and it to be in people's mindset before they even think about doing shows and things like that. Yeah. Because, you know, it's the old saying, you know, show business is 20% show and 80% business. You know, and whilst we all love, you know, going on stage and getting a forward and what have you, after the show done, you know, what do you have to show for it? You know.
You know, before coming on camera, we had a little conversation about Chronixx, and I was saying to you that he seemed to have come out of nowhere. He seemed to have just glided right into the #1 spot. And still, somebody was saying to me the other day that he's not actually the #1. There's somebody else, and I think he's Italian, but that's not where I'm going with this.
Right.
And you said actually Chronixx was around from a video game. And I thought that was a really fascinating story, and I can see how that works.
Well, yeah, it's simply about the platform. It's about the platform. Now, one of his songs was featured in a game called Grand Theft Auto 5, which let's just put some figures. Let's just crunch some numbers to it, right? In the first week of its release, the game made $1 billion.
Wow. In
the 4th year of release, it made $6 billion. It is the biggest selling item of entertainment, bar none. There's not one movie, there's not one book, there's not one DVD, there's not one piece of entertainment that has made more money than Grand Theft Auto. Now, within Grand Theft Auto, there's a feature where you play as a character and you go in your car and you drive and what have you. In the car, you got a choice of radio stations, from alternate rock, punk, R&B, soul, reggae. Now with reggae, the main DJ that plays, well, the person that plays the DJ in that radio station is Lee Scratch Perry.
Wow.
And they have licensed music within that playlist, and a tune called Odd Ras by Chronixx was one of the tunes that was featured in that game, and that was the first time I heard of Chronixx.
Wow.
Being a gamer, you know, loving gaming, and obviously being a musician, and my ears being pricked up to the sound of Odd Ras from Chronixx, you know, 2 and 2 started to make 4 when he made the Dread and Terrible album. So it was basically getting people to know about him through a format, through a platform that's enjoyed by millions and millions of people. So, you know, it had the marketing it basically needed, as unconventional and unorthodox as it may seem to be. But it done what it had to do, and it helped to bring Chronixx to the stratospheric levels that he's at now.
Absolutely, and you know, there's no two ways about it. Chronixx is an individual. He's easily identified, and you know, more power to him. I do like him. I didn't get to go and see him, but you know, we're coming to a close now.
Yeah.
Is there anything that comes to your mind, parting words, if you like?
Yeah, simply
for the music.
Simply, if you love the music, and I'm talking from a creator's standpoint, if you love the music, put some love into it. Put love into the music. Don't, you know, we can all bish bash bosh, but that's not showing the music love. It's just showing it not a lot of regard. But if you put love into it, if you put the seasoning into it, a little bit of this and a little bit of that, you're putting love into the thing. Just like how you cook a meal. You know what I mean? You're not gonna put a drum of salt into your dish, because you know how that's going to taste. But you put just the right amount of salt. I mean, I know I'm using a poor example, but the right amount of scotch bonnet, let's say.
That's right. And remember, Abstain from foolishness, even if it's your own.
That's all I've got. So it's adieu from me and it's adieu from Elayne. That is a timer to let us know when we've gone past certain time.
And I try to keep it in time. See you.
Laters.
Bye. Thank you.